I get it. You're scrolling through endless options, trying to avoid the nightmare of spending money on a chair that ends up just taking up space or, worse, never actually helps you get up when you need it. You want something that actually delivers on the promises, especially when you're dealing with limited mobility or a tight living room layout. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's talk about what makes an electric powerlift recliner worth your hard-earned dollars. In this category, the biggest red flag is the gap between marketing hype and everyday reality. A chair can look sleek, but if the lift mechanism is jerky or the recline feels cramped, you'll quickly regret the purchase. On the flip side, a well-designed lift chair can be a game-changer for seniors who struggle with the simple act of standing, and for anyone who wants a low-effort way to relax after a long day. The UOPYNE model tries to hit a sweet spot between functionality and space efficiency. Its biggest selling point is the power lift assistance that lets you press a button and be gently elevated into a seated position. In practice, that means you can sit down from a standing height without having to brace your knees or use your hands for support. For a 72-year-old who lives alone, this is the kind of feature that turns a daily routine from a potential fall hazard into a smooth, confidence-boosting motion. The lift travels a modest distance enough to raise the seat about 3 inches so you feel the lift without a sudden, unnerving surge. While the lift is the headline, the chair also offers a built-in vibration massage and a heated lumbar pad. The vibration is subtle, more of a gentle hum than a deep tissue thump, which works well if you're looking for a quick circulation boost while you're watching a show. The lumbar heat wraps around the lower back in a narrow strip, providing steady warmth that can soothe mild aches after a morning walk or a physio session. I've seen people use it as a low-key alternative to a heating pad, especially when the TV remote is within arm's reach and the heat stays on without having to juggle extra devices. Adjustability goes beyond the lift. The backrest reclines in several increments, letting you find a comfortable angle for reading, napping, or just lounging. The mechanism is electric, so you don't have to wrestle with a lever. A single press moves the chair to your chosen position and holds it there. In a real-world setting, say, a small studio apartment, the ability to shift from upright to a semi-reclined angle without moving the whole piece of furniture is a practical advantage. The chair's footprint is deliberately compact, with a sleek black PU leather finish that won't dominate a modest living room. The material is easy to wipe down, which is a plus for anyone who worries about spills or pet hair. Convenience features include a USB charging port and side storage pockets. The USB port lets you keep a phone or tablet powered while you're settled in, so you don't have to scramble for an outlet across the room. The pockets are shallow but perfectly sized for a remote, a magazine, or a pair of reading glasses. It's the kind of small-scale thinking that makes the chair feel lived in, rather than a sterile showroom piece. Now, let's look at the practical downsides. First, the chair is fairly heavy, around 150 pounds, so moving it once it's assembled is a challenge. If you're renting or anticipate rearranging your layout often, you'll need to plan the placement carefully before the final assembly. Second, the recline range, while adequate for most sitting activities, doesn't go flat enough for a true nap. If you're hoping to use the chair as a substitute for a bed or a deep recline lounge, you'll find it falls short. Third, the PU leather, while low maintenance, isn't the buttery softness of genuine leather. It can feel a bit plasticky under close inspection, which may be a turnoff for those who prioritize premium upholstery feel. Weight capacity is another consideration. The manufacturer lists a limit of 250 pounds, but the lift's motor is calibrated for average senior body types. Users who are closer to the upper end of that range might notice the lift moving a tad slower, and the chair may feel less stable during the elevation. If you're a larger individual, you might want to explore a lift chair specifically rated for higher capacities. Battery reliance is minimal because the chair plugs directly into a wall outlet, but that also means you need an accessible power source nearby. In a cramped studio, you'll have to manage cord placement to avoid tripping hazards. The cord is short enough to stay discreet, yet long enough to reach a standard outlet without stretching. If your living space lacks a conveniently placed socket, you might need to use an extension cord, which adds an extra step. Who should consider buying this UOPYNE recliner? If you're a senior or someone with limited knee or hip strength who values a safe, assisted sitting and standing experience, this chair